Alrighty, well, I have worked my way upriver. I'm on a small little river that I love so much, and it is, I mean, we're deep in the fall now, and the water temperature here is 41 degrees, and I'm going to try to catch a walleye today. I'm not really keen on that water temperature. It's pretty low for catching walleyes out of this river, but we're gonna try different things. We're gonna try to catch them on artificials first, but the water temperature that low, I don't know. It could be a little difficult, but I do have some live bait, so if the artificials don't work, we will try some live bait. So what do you say we get loaded? I've been throwing this Berkley power switch. I mean, it is a great looking bait. Look at that thing. I've been throwing it around a little bit so far, nothing. But I'm trying to concentrate on just bends in the river. That's going to be where you have the deepest water. These fish are getting, well, it's like I said earlier, it's 41-degree water temperature. So these fish in this river are looking to winter right now. They're looking for deeper sections of the river, and you're not going to find deeper water than on a bend. So that's what I'm looking for, but so far it's like I'm not seeing much on the graph, and my experience is that things get really, really slow at this water temperature, low 40s. I mean, you got to really slow down. But this bend, I've never been to this section of the river. This is the farthest upstream I've been, so I just wanted to see what this particular bend was like. It's a heck of a bend. It's really pronounced. There's a lot of water to cover here, so I'm trying to fish a little bit more aggressively with that power switch. It's a super unique lure, kind of developed for forward-facing sonar, but I think it's got great applications for walleye fishing. It's just got a lot of different erratic actions you can do with it. It might be a little bit too erratic for this river at this water temperature. I'm not exactly sure, but I do want to throw this Money Badger around. This is a Money Badger 5, and I just picked these up. It's another great looking bait. It's kind of like a balsa bait, but plastic's got a lot of action, but I'm gonna just fish this very slow though and cover this big bend and just see if we can't pick something off. But I'll fish a little bit, you know, more aggressive starting off, but man, I am likely gonna have to go to live bait at some point. Okay, well, it's beyond apparent that the artificial route is not working. So, I mean, this is an absolutely gorgeous bait. Look at that thing. It's just, I mean, it looks like a minnow. The eyes, everything, just the finish. It's just a fantastic looking bait, the Berkley power switch, but it is cold. It's cold, and I just I feel more comfortable on this river fishing live bait at a 41-degree water temperature. So that's what we're gonna do. We are going to put on a jig and minnow, and then also we're gonna have a Lindy rig, and I'm just gonna kind of drag it around the holes, you know, as well. Probably gonna use a minnow on a Lindy rig too, but I do have some night crawlers, so we're going full live bait. All right, that's a fish, y'all. That is a good one too. All right. Ooh. Woo. That is a northern pike. I'm gonna tell you something. I am tickled to catch this northern. There is a group of fish. This guy is so cold. There's a group of fish that I'm seeing. Look at him. He is just very, very cold. Very, very cold. 41 degrees. I get you, buddy. Terrible net job on my part. Oh, there is a group of fish I'm seeing at 16 feet right here. 16 feet on this big bend. And 16 feet is the deepest water I found today. And they are wintering there. This is just like ice fishing right here. Just like ice fishing. I'm vertical jigging with this jig and minnow. I think I may have found something or figured something out right here. I know this isn't the target species, but I have a feeling everything's where this pike was hanging out at that 16-foot depth. Oh man, I mean, it is like slow. It is ice fishing. I mean, crazy. Let me try to get this out of you, buddy. You got this all kind of jacked here. But not the target species, but I am a pike fan. I mean, I like all kinds of fish, but that is, it feels really good just to be able to set the hook into a fish and possibly, here you go, buddy. Nice and easy. Oh, he's in slow motion. Possibly kind of figure these fish out. I'm just seeing just kind of fuzziness on my graph here. And just above 16 feet. Fish are not moving right now. They're not moving at all. They are wintering. There is no chasing. For whatever reason, on this river, when it gets into the 40s, low 40s, everything shuts down. They go into hibernation mode. And it's really interesting. It's completely different than the Mississippi River. I think a part of that, maybe a big part of that, is due to the fact that I fish like warm water discharges, and I think those fish just behave differently. You know, I think those fish almost like they know that that water temperature is always gonna, you know, it's not gonna drop any lower, you know, than I guess what I'm trying to say, it's not gonna get too cold, you know, on those warm water discharge areas where a river like this without a warm water discharge, these fish know that when it starts dipping in the 40s, it's going to get even colder. It's time to shut down. So they are shut down. I think that's what's going on. I know that was just a non-target fish, non-target species, but I have a feeling, fingers crossed, that there's a number of them. A number of different species there. I'm hoping there's some walleyes in there, but it's just like, it reminds me a lot, honestly, of just ice fishing, and you'll just see fuzziness, and that's just a group of fish not even moving, just doing nothing, okay, above the bottom. And it's not a solid bottom, it's just fuzzy above the bottom, and that's typically some kind of life. And if it's not, you know, if it's not moving at all, so it's not coming up and down, it's just, you know, it's neutral or negative. So what I'm going to do, what I did to catch that pike, is I kind of raised, I felt the bottom, I raised up maybe about, you know, 4 to 6 inches, something like that, and I just drifted at that depth of where that fuzziness was, and I wasn't even jigging at all, and boom, he hit it. So I think we could do that with walleyes. Okay, jig and minnow, walleyes, I mean, come on, it's like peanut butter and jelly. I don't know, let's keep fishing. How I'm rigging this fathead minnow, I'm just rigging it on a VMC, I think this is called a moon eye jig. Yes, neon moon eye, and this is 1/8 of an ounce, and right through the mouth, out the top of the head, just like so, and there you go. I really like these jig heads. I've used them a lot. I've been a big fan of them. And what I'm doing, just get into a little bit more detail here. I'm kind of lined up with a tree here. I'm trying to get in that 16, the deepest, this big bend here, in case you're like, you know, new to river fishing, the deepest parts of rivers are more often than not bends, okay? Especially small rivers. The deepest part of a small river is going to be the bend. So this is where the fish winter. It's the deepest section of the river, and this is 16 feet and in this hole here. So it's kind of hard because this river bends so hard here to get that line right, that 16-foot depth, you know, to drift through it. So it's been a bit of a challenge, but these two trees, there's two trees up here that I'm kind of trying to line up with. Maybe you could see them right here. And I'm gonna kind of let the main current take me down, and then just kind of work my trolling motor away a little bit away. It's not that 16-foot depth is not in the main current. The main current is swinging around just kind of right up against the bank here. I want to be a little bit off of that. The deepest water is off of that. But I need to kind of get the current. It's like a highway. I got to get it, you know, I got to get my kayak into the highway to get us moving downstream here so we can kind of drift. But I need to also get into deeper water. Right now I'm only in 9 feet, and that's not deep enough. We need the deepest water. These fish think it's winter. It's not easy boat control, I'll tell you that much. But once you get that drift right, I think it could be, oh man, I hope so anyway. I think we might have stumbled onto something here. So I'll show you here once we get set up just what this kind of fuzziness looks like. But it's you know, on the graph, I'll get another camera out and show you here on the graph what I'm talking about. But you can see how difficult this is because I'm kind of in a washing machine right now, trying to get lined up and to get this drift right. So these two trees are over here. I know that that's kind of the line, but it's also not easy to control the kayak when you don't have a trolling motor up front. So your bow's swinging every which way. But now I'm in 10 feet. I'm going to actually drop down now and start the drift down. Now I'm in 11 feet. On the bottom now, and what I'll do is I'll just kind of bump the bow to the right a little bit because those trees are right over there now, so I got to just kind of get a little bit more to the right of them. And if you can see that graph, there's no kind of fuzziness yet, but once we get into 16 feet you'll start seeing it, because I think everybody and their brother's there just being stubborn and not moving. All right, guys. Well, you may have noticed that it's getting quite dark, and so we're going to have to wrap this up. The walleyes did not behave today. Very, very upsetting, but I kind of had a feeling. I knew I was coming to this river late. October is awesome on this river. You know, when we're basically deep into fall now, and I have not had good success. I've had no success here when the water temperature, you know, gets into the low 40s. I don't know why that is, but it's just like they shut down. It's not like the Mississippi River. Mississippi River is so crazy. It's such a wild river. I mean, fish just bite all year long on the Mississippi River. Not the case here. In October, this place is awesome. That's when I'm going to fish walleyes. From here on out, only fishing walleyes on this river. in October. But I am happy that you joined me. Please like if you've liked the content, and subscribe. That does wonders for the algorithm, and it's a great way to show support. So really appreciate you watching, guys. Until next time.